my pleasure here to introduce Lady Mariana Brandão. She's has a biomedical engineer from the Federal University of São Paulo here in Brazil. He's a specialist in clinical engineering also from the University of Campinas, which is, I would say, a very good introduction because she was one of my students long time ago. She's mastered in electrical engineering and a PhD candidate at the University of Santa Catarina, also here in Brazil. And during her master, she worked with the subject, which I think is very important. It's the analysis of adverse events in medical devices used in home care and in healthcare technology management. So I leave you with Mariana, and thank you very much. Bye.
Hello, I'm very happy to be here to share about this important topic about the adverse events in medical devices used in home care. Actually, I will talk about one of the area and the activity that we are developing in the Institute of Biomedical Engineering, located in Florianópolis in the south of Brazil. Here we have 4 main areas: clinical engineering, biomedical instrumentation, bioengineering, informatics in health. And one of the projects that we are developing here is about the analysis of adverse events in medical devices. We are focused in the medical devices used in home care. The presence of medical devices beyond hospital environments is increasing, and we have many different challenges because we have many different users who do not have experience about the use of the health technology. And the incorrect use can lead to inappropriate decision-making, causing adverse events. According to WHO, World Health Organization, around 1 in every 10 patients is harmed in healthcare, and more than 3 million deaths occur annually due to unsafe care. In low to middle income countries, as many as 4 in 100 people die from unsafe care. Above 15% of harm is preventable. And the management of adverse events is essential to patient safety using in medical devices. And when we talk about the medical devices used in home care, we have many different types of medical devices. We have pacemakers, stents, blood pressure monitors, glucometers, insulin pumps, respirators, nebulizers, thermometers, oximeters, among others. In the clinical engineering area is really important to the health technology management, specifically also in the medical devices used in home care. So we have many different challenges when we talk about the medical devices used in home care. And every year, the ECRI organization generates the report about the top 10 health technology hazards for the year. And for example, we have this report, the 2024, in the top 1 of this report, the medical devices may pose usability challenges for home users, risking mission and patient harm. And in this year, 2025, in the top 10 health technology hazards, the unmet technology support needs for home care patients. But how can we identify these problems? So we can apply usability techniques to identify main problems involving medical devices. So we have many different usability techniques. For example, we have interview, focus groups, questionnaire, deaf metal, usability testing, observational analysis, task analysis, heuristic evaluation, and we have also the usage error analysis. And we have many different usability techniques. For example, we have techniques that we use technology, and we have techniques that we don't use technology. We can apply, for example, the ability to analyze the perspective of the user. So here we have, for example, a diagram with we can see different usability techniques that we can apply to identify the main problems. And today I will talk about specifically in the usage error analysis, specifically in the analysis of adverse events. Some organization, for example, here we have a database, a public database, the Food and Administration Drug, the MOUT, FDA, in the United States. And for example, here we have the top 20 medical devices with more notifications in MOUT FDA. Here, for example, we have, here is the data about the 2025, the year, okay? So for example, we have the endosseous dental implant, in the second, we have the integrated continuous glucose monitoring system, alternative control enable insulin infusion pump, automated insulin dosing device system, non-continuous ventilator, infusion pump, intravascular administration set, continuous ventilator, stimulator spinal cord, prosthesis breast, permanent pacemaker electrodes, implantable cardioverter defibrillator. So we have many different medical devices. And here we have the top 20 medical devices with more notification in 2025. And here we can see a lot of different medical devices used in home care environments. But it's not just a case in the United States. For example, here in Brazil, we have a national agency called Anvisa, and here we have a database public that we can see the notification about the different types of medical devices. And here, for example, we have the top 10, the notification, specifically medical equipment between 2019 and 2025. And the top one is infusion pump, robotic surgical system, multi-purpose device for aesthetics, glucose self-test instrument, implantable pulse generator for neurostimulation, deep brain electrical stimulation system, self-test for interstitial fluid glucose monitoring, electrode cable for endocardial defibrillation, implantable defibrillation for cardiac. So here we also can see the many different medical devices used in home care context. So the analysis of adverse events is really, really important in all life cycle of the health technology management, both the pre-market, pre-commercialization, and the post-market, post-commercialization. So analyze adverse events associated with medical devices used in home care throughout the life cycle is essential to identify problems and establish strategies to mitigate risks and make healthcare environment safer. So really important to consider the human factors to apply usability techniques in the whole life cycle to identify problems and mitigate the risks involving medical devices. So we can apply the usability techniques in the ideation, design, development, manufacturing. We can apply usability techniques in the planning, selection, acquisition, and the receptive verification, inventory, training, use, technical intervention, the commission. So we can apply the usability techniques, for example, the analysis of that adverse event in all life cycle of the health technology management. Now I will talk with you about many different topics. The importance of considering the clinical engineering and considering the analysis of the adverse event in medical devices used in home care. The first topic is about the importance of the real-world data in technovigilance to identify problems involving medical devices. So it's really important to generate data, the real-world data, to identify the problems. And for example, we can apply the usability techniques to develop the better technologies with better usability and accessibility, for example. Here, in the Institute of Biomedical Engineering, we are developing a living lab, an ecosystem living lab with the interaction between different actors, such as health professionals, users, using university, industry, government, we need to integrate the different actors to identify the problems, the perspective of each other, and we can develop user-centered. So we need to integrate the different perspective of different actors to develop technology with better usability and accessibility, considering different users. It's really important to involve the users in all this context. We can, considering also the metrology, many notifications about the medical devices in the different database publics. We have many different causes, for example, the metrology, the problems about the metrology in the specifically in the medical devices. So we need to considering the metrology to ensure reliability in the medical devices. One another topic that we can apply, we can discuss, is about the sub-notification. We need to encourage the reporting adverse events to generate evidence. It's really important because we need to analyze the cause and effects because it's a relevant tool for the health technology management to create preventive actions. So we needed to encourage to reporting the adverse events, but we need to analyze of these notifications, analyze the causes and effects. We need also the education, the stimulate the education, the training, develop guidance, resources to meet different user profiles. We needed to consider, for example, the connectivity, the cybersecurity, and the data security also. And all these data, it's really important to integrate this data in the predictive management of health technology process in all life cycle, creating public scenarios. So here I show for you some of these consideration about the importance of the clinical engineering in medical devices used also in home care. We many times we talk about clinical engineering in medical devices used in hospital context is really important, but we need to considering the clinical engineering in medical devices used in home care also. We are seeing the medical devices in this context also. So we needed to considering the health technology in this context also. So it's really important to analyze adverse events in medical devices used in home care to mitigate risks and improve health safety for all people around the world. So thank you so much for your attention. And if you have any questions, I am available. Thank you so much.